6 months ago, one peaceful afternoon, I decided, you know what would be so awesome right now? If I spent the next 100 hours digitally cataloging my wardrobe so everything I own is organized virtually right on my phone so I can style outfits in the palm of my hand, track what I wear on a calendar to see how often I wear certain pieces while absorbing so much data about cost per wear, the value of my entire wardrobe, how bad my shopping problem is, where the gaps in my wardrobe really are, which items I wear the most, which items might be time to donate, and ultimately just become a more informed consumer when it comes to my clothes. Well, I can confirm now, 6 months after the fact, that it was indeed quite awesome. So data lovers, now's your time. You're being represented, okay? Come forward, gather around. Everybody, I have some data to present. If you're new here, hi, I'm Maddie. About 6 months ago, I digitally cataloged my wardrobe so I could have a virtual closet, kind of similar to Cher in the movie Clueless. I documented the whole process and sort of explained the how-to of doing that over in this video. Fast forward to now, I've just spent the last 6 months enjoying the fruits of my labor, pulling so many learnings about my wardrobe through all of the data I have accumulated. And now I have many thoughts. Was it worth it to digitally catalog my wardrobe? What are the big things that I have learned about my closet? And what are some of my goals for my wardrobe moving forward? I have my wardrobe cataloged on an app called Indyx. There's a couple different apps that do this kind of stuff, but I really love the interface of Indyx. And also, this is a new update, but I am now a stylist over on that platform, if you missed that. So the beautiful thing about Indyx is not only can you catalog your own wardrobe, but you're also able to hire stylists through the app to sort of come in, look at your digital wardrobe, and build outfits for you using the stuff you have in your closet and adding in recommendations if that is something you're looking for. Maybe you're going on vacation and don't know what to pack. Maybe you just want a fresh perspective on how to style the clothes you already wear or what possible gaps there could be on your wardrobe where your money is most well spent in terms of investing in more pieces. Whatever it may be, if you're interested in the market for hiring a personal stylist, you can hire me over on the Indyx app, once you've cataloged your wardrobe, of course. So without further ado, let's get into those numbers. First up, we have my wardrobe composition. I think overall, this should be largely similar to what it was 6 months ago. I don't know if the composition of my wardrobe is changing immensely over the course of 6 months, but this will be a good refresher for all of us nonetheless. Looking at my entire index, I have 350 items in my wardrobe. This is, of course, including all of my clothes, all of my accessories, jewelry, shoes, bags, everything. All in, there are 350 items in my wardrobe. The only things that I don't have cataloged are like my rings and bracelets. I have some of my jewelry cataloged, but it's really just earrings and necklaces. Rings and bracelets, I don't even bother because I wear the same ones every single day. In terms of which categories my wardrobe is most made up of, we still have tops coming out on top with 118 tops in my wardrobe. That's 34% of everything that is indexed. That is a little crazy. A third of my wardrobe is tops. I guess it's expected that you would have the most tops of any other item of clothing, but still that feels like a really excessive amount of tops. Hopefully we can, crunch that down in years to come. It is pretty much double the category that is second to it, which is bottoms, coming in at 18%, 63 different bottoms. And in third place, we've got accessories, 13% with 47 different items. And I guess this one makes sense because accessory is sort of a broad term. So this is all of my hats, scarves, sunglasses, gloves, belts, more than that, but many different items in this one category. And then we've got a bunch of our mid-tier categories. One pieces, which is dresses, rompers, jumpsuits. Other, which is my activewear. Rather than sorting my sports bras, bike shorts, leggings into tops and bottoms, I was like, they really should be in their whole separate category because it really is a whole separate category. I'm not styling those items in outfits. They're only going with each other. So that's what my other category is. So we've got outerwear, shoes, and bags. And then down at the bottom, my smallest categories are jewelry and swim. Jewelry, obviously, because I did not log all of my jewelry, and swim because I don't require many bathing suits living in New York City. The color breakdown of my wardrobe stayed largely the same, with my top two colors still being black and white, and the two colors that immediately follow black and white being purple and blue. This continues to check out for me. I definitely am more of a cool toned girl when it comes to what colors I gravitate towards. Here's a new addition that they added to the index composition data, source, where you can see how much of your wardrobe are purchases, gifts, or self-made items. 81% of my wardrobe I purchased myself, 17% of it was gifted to me, and 2% of it is self-made. It makes sense to me that I've purchased 81% of my wardrobe, and the 17% that's gifted, I am willing to bet that about 14% of that is coming straight from my mother. My mother is someone whose love language has always been gifts. She is a very thoughtful person, and she's always been really great at shopping for clothes specifically for her children. She's a fashionista, okay? Come on now, you know Anne Michelle. But I definitely do have some pieces of my wardrobe that were gifted to me straight from the brand themselves. New versus secondhand, 95% of my wardrobe is still being bought new, and 5% of it is secondhand. I've definitely found a few more pieces than normal at the thrift over the last 6 months, but yeah, thrifting as a plus size person in New York City is really not the most fruitful effort. Seasonal breakdown is still a pretty even split, with spring pulling up a little bit ahead and winter falling a little bit behind. And then in terms of longevity, we've got 27% of my wardrobe purchased within the last year, 55% of my wardrobe purchased within the last 3 years, 15% of my wardrobe purchased in the last 3 to 5 years, and 3% of my wardrobe purchased over 5 years ago. And again, this is still pretty similar to what it was 6 months ago. I went up a size around the start of the pandemic, so it makes sense that the majority of my wardrobe has been accumulated after that point. / I also started making more money and could just generally afford better quality items than I could before. So investing in my wardrobe definitely became more of a priority after that point. So this all makes sense to me. Nothing really surprising here. Which brings us to my wardrobe usage. Now, this is a stat that I'm actually pretty proud of. Over the last 6 months, I have worn 46% of my wardrobe. I feel like that's pretty good. Because here's the thing, we're only looking at October through March. Let's say April just started. October through March, I wore 46% of everything that I own. 50% of the year, 50% of the wardrobe. That feels pretty good to me, especially knowing that I haven't even touched my clothes for warmer months. All of my warm month clothes are still shoved underneath my bed. I'm thinking realistically, when we get to the 1 year mark of doing this, my estimate would be that I end up wearing between 80 and 85% of my wardrobe in total. I don't think I'll reach 100%, but the learning there just ends up being whatever it is that's in the 15% that I don't end up wearing over the course of an entire calendar year. Those are the clothes that I donate. Those are the clothes that I sell. Those are the clothes that I am truly ready to part with. That has been like the most helpful thing that I've been able to observe in my wardrobe over the last 6 months. I feel like, especially as a plus size person, sometimes it is difficult for me to part with items because I am like, okay, I don't like this item anymore, or it doesn't fit me quite right anymore, or whatever the reason is, I'm not wearing it. Even knowing that, I sometimes find it hard to part with those items out of fear of never being able to find an item that looks like that in plus sizes ever again. Like, oh, what if I get rid of this item right now and then 6 months from now I decide that I really want to wear this, but then I can't find a single thing online that resembles it even a little bit. Sometimes it's hard for me to let go of items because I worry that I won't be able to replace them. But I always try to push back against that mentality, because if I really did end up missing this item, there's still a chance that I could find something similar eventually. But more often than not, if I go an entire calendar year without reaching for an item even once, it probably means that I'm ready to move on from that item. If we go through the entire season that it would be appropriate for, and I don't feel excited and inspired to wear that item even once, I take that as a sign that it is time to part ways. Get that in the donate pile, get that sold at the next closet sale. Like, I live in an apartment. there's just not enough space to be keeping things that I'm not wearing around here, okay? We gotta move things out. We do not have space like that. You see these people with like massive walk-in closets? They must have like triple the amount of items that I have. Or they're just bad at organizing. Because what the fuck? How do I have 350 items in here somewhere? And it's not just like spilling all over the place. It's actually fucked up when you think about it. My favorite feature of the Indyx app has been the calendar tracking. Every day I wake up and I log what outfit I'm wearing on my calendar, and I try to take a selfie of myself in that outfit for the day. I'm definitely not perfect about the selfie part of things, but I really do try to. December, I definitely went through a month where I forgot to, but to be fair, I was wearing the same thing pretty much for the entire month of December, which we'll get to that. You'll see if you look through my calendar view, I end up wearing the same outfits over and over and over again. And that's because I work from home and often no one sees me besides me. So I'm going for my comfort outfits. Some people have comfort movies. Some people have comfort foods. I have comfort outfits. Coincidentally, I am also wearing this year's crowned comfort outfit right now, baby. Let's go. I washed it this morning and I was like, you know, it'd be so awesome to wear right now. My sweatshirt that smells like laundry detergent. But it has been really interesting to sort of see my month in outfits from a bird's eye view, see which outfits I go to over and over and over again when my month is maybe looking a little stale on the fashion front. You know, there are some months that are real, you know, hard, heavy hitters. And then there are other months where I'm just wearing the same thing every single day. And also, I'll cut myself a little bit of extra slack because it is winter. So it's like, I don't have plans. What am I doing? Where am I going? I have actually had way more plans than I want to this winter, and that's a separate problem entirely. Everyone stop inviting me places. But like in the summer when I'm constantly outside, hanging out with people, have plans out the fucking wazoo, yeah, my wardrobe is probably a little bit more interesting to look at, even though I am internally miserable. Right? I still prefer cold weather fashion, even though I don't get to show off those outfits nearly as often because I have nowhere to wear them to, because I'm not going anywhere, or at least I don't want to. But like you look at the month of October, which was a nice, cool fall month. I think this bird's eye view this month looks like I had a great month fashion-wise. Look at her. She's got versatility. She's got drama. She's got some repeat outfits on her off days, her casual days, but for the most part, I was eating those bitches up during the month of October. And then November, I still did pretty good, but then you see we slowly devolved into a capsule wardrobe. But that's not even a lie. That was a capsule wardrobe. I was traveling. I was home visiting my family, so I'd only brought those items with me. So yes, I'm wearing a lot of the same things, but that was strategic, actually. And that was another interesting thing, like seeing how much easier it is to pack for trips using this, because I can plan out what I'm gonna wear on every single day of the trip beforehand, strategically pick outfits that utilize similar pieces to keep the amount of items that I'm bringing with me lower and prevent my overpacking. Do you understand how hard it has been for me to prevent myself from overpacking? I have historically looked at people who got away with just packing a carry-on for themselves when they go on vacations and been like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? You are fucked up if you're able to do that. I need to crack open your skull and sample a slice of your brain. Okay, I need to get in there and uncover what the fuck is going on, because I have never in my life been able to use just a carry-on for anything. And to be honest with you, even with Indyx, I still can't use a carry-on for a week-long trip. That's still fucking diabolical. But 3 to 5 days? Oh, I can totally do that. I've been sort of crushing a 3 to 5 day trip in a carry-on because now I can track everything on Indyx and really strategize when I'm packing so that I don't bring a bunch of items that I'm not going to end up wearing because there's just simply not enough days in the vacation, babe. And also, you really don't have to wear a brand new outfit every single day. You just need to do creative variations on the same items, okay? It's kind of a nice brain game in itself to try to make that capsule work. So I've kind of enjoyed that when I have traveled over the last 6 months. And you can also log multiple outfits or add individual items to different days. So looking at the month of January, for example, you see the week of the 6th through the 10th, I have multiple outfits logged on each of those days. That's because I was on vacation with my mom that week. So I was usually wearing one outfit during the day and then getting dressed, going out to dinner later that night. This was my day to night outfit on January 6th. Here it is on the 7th. And then you can see on the 8th, I ended up logging my bathing suit separately so that I wouldn't have to add it to like the outfit boards of these items. All cool stuff. I think the calendar feature is definitely one of the most exciting features of the Indyx app and one that keeps me excited to log what I'm wearing every single day. It's just very satisfying to the eye. So what have been my most worn pieces? The award winners for most worn over the last 6 months. Up top, we're obviously gonna have some jewelry items and my go-to pair of Nikes. My most worn item is my Justine Clanquette earrings with 140 wears, and second to that is my Nike Air Force Ones with 104 wears. I wear these earrings almost every single day. I wear those sneakers almost every single day, so that makes a lot of sense. Then we've got a couple other jewelry items in there, but the first clothing item that we have in my list of most worn items is my Anthropologie leather jacket coming in at 50 wears. I knew even without Indyx that this jacket was getting a lot of wear, but it's nice to see her really get her flowers like this. 50 wears in the last 6 months. Then we've got my JW denim purse, my Anthropologie striped pajama pants, but I don't wear them as pajamas. I wear them as actual fun, funky pants, okay? We've got my crap eyewear sunglasses, my black Nunu bag, my Chunks hair clip, and then of course, my Boys Lie sex ed sweatshirt, which I am wearing right in this very moment. You can also sort it by category so you can see all of your most worn tops, your most worn bottoms, your most worn outerwear, your most worn one pieces, bags, shoes, accessories, jewelry. It's really cool to see the actual data on how often I'm wearing each of these items, if my perceived most worn items actually are my most worn items. Also shows you your least worn items, which for the most part are going to be summer items of mine at this point, but there are absolutely a couple fall, winter, cold month transition pieces that are in here that I see have had 0 wears that I'm like, damn, we gotta figure out how to style that, or she might be time to say goodbye to. I think the piece I am most ashamed of having 0 wears on is this Ghani vest. It is so gorgeous, and I have never been able to figure out how to style this. I bought this vest probably 2 or 3 years ago, and I wore it a few times the winter that I bought it, and I don't think I have worn it at all since, because to be honest with you, sometimes it is uncomfortable to wear puffer jackets or puffer vests when you have big boobs. That is why I don't wear it. I know that's why I don't wear it. I feel like sometimes with like the puffer vests, the like thick materials, I start to feel like I'm being suffocated. Like there's just like, you know, my chest is already out to here, and then to have the puffiness on top of it, I'm like, I can't breathe. Everyone needs to get off of me. I start to feel like overstimulated in puffer items. It just is too much going on. I need way less on my body, way less. I know this about myself. So though I would love to figure out a way to style that vest in a way that's exciting to me, I also don't know if it's my vibe anymore. I fear that maybe puffer just isn't for me. TBD, could be coming to a closet sale near you very soon. Another huge win of having my wardrobe cataloged like this is that it is so much easier for me to figure out what is actually going to be a useful purchase for me versus what is not, because I know what I wear every single day. Literally, I know what I wear every single day. And because I can add in items to my closet before I've actually purchased them, if I'm thinking of buying an item and maybe it's a bigger purchase like that fucking vest, I would be able to load in a picture of that item to my wardrobe wish list and style it with a bunch of the items already in my closet to see, okay, in actuality, even if I think this is a really cool item as, you know, an individual item, do I have enough other things that could go with this to the point where I will wear this regularly? And you know what? If I had had my wardrobe cataloged at that time when I bought that fucking vest, I probably would have discovered that I didn't have enough things to style with that vest that I would actually like the look of. So getting to experiment with different items before you purchase them to see if they could actually be a good fit in your wardrobe has been so helpful, and I think has made it so that the purchases that I have made over the last 6 months are definitely purchases that I have gotten a lot of wear out of. So we've talked about my most worn items. What about my most worn outfits? As expected, my most worn outfit is the outfit that I am wearing right this very second. It is my Boys Lie sweatshirt with my striped Anthropologie pants. They're just so goddamn good. Second to that is another outfit utilizing the same pants, this time with my Old Navy cardigan and my Anthropologie black leather jacket. Then we've got an outfit with my leopard pants and a tank top. We've got a couple loungewear outfits. That totally checks out. Again, the Boys Lie sweatshirt with a different shade of the Anthropologie pants. Another shade of the Anthropologie pants and a purple sweater with the same black jacket. Like, I'm definitely going back to the same pieces over and over again. And I'm interested to see how that changes as the seasons change. As we go from the cooler months to the warmer months, I'm definitely interested to see how the pieces I'm gravitating towards change. Honestly, over like the last month, I've been entering a big mini skirt era. Mini skirts are really having a moment for me right now, so I anticipate this will continue for me into spring and summer. Which brings us to our final category, my wardrobe investment. Over the last 6 months, I donated 28 items but acquired 46 new pieces, which does sound like a lot. However, it was the holidays and also my birthday. So I think a good chunk, a majority of that 46 are items that were given to me as a gift. And also any data discrepancy, because there is a little bit of a data discrepancy between this video and my previous video, an 11 item discrepancy to be clear. Those are items that I forgot to log when I first did my wardrobe cataloging. There have been several times where I have been going about my life and then I find an item and I'm like, what the fuck? How did I not catalog this? And added it to the index. So the 11 item discrepancy, that's what that is. They were not new items, they were old items that I forgot to log. So I actually went through and looked. Of the 46 new pieces that came into my wardrobe, 30 of them were connected to my birthday or Christmas. And I am counting birthday gifts I bought myself as being connected to my birthday, because they are, even though I bought them. But they were birthday presents for me. Because, come on, if I can't buy myself a birthday present, what world do we live in? Of the 16 remaining items, 8 of them were gifted to me by brands. So gifting has accounted for a lot of my wardrobe growth over the last 6 months, which I even worked out what exactly came into my wardrobe over the last 6 months. 12 tops, 5 sweaters, 3 pairs of shoes, 3 workout pieces, 3 pants, 3 shorts, 2 bags, 2 sweatshirts, 2 dresses, 1 skirt, 1 coat, 1 jacket, 1 vest, 1 pair of tights, 1 hat, 1 belt, 1 lingerie item, 1 pair of sunglasses, and 1 hair clip. So, you know, we've got some diversity with still the heavy emphasis being on tops. Overall, though, I will say, Christmas and my birthday aside, I have been shopping way less than I used to. And I think over the next 6 months, this will probably be illuminated better than it is right now. 46 items is a lot of items, but most of them were gifts, okay? Most of them I did not buy. Listen, I'm by no means a thrifty woman. I love shopping. I love clothes. But what I will say about myself is that over the last 6 months, I have definitely become a much more intentional shopper, in that the items that I am purchasing are all items that I am getting a significant amount of wear from. And it was Christmas and my birthday, okay? So these numbers are out of the ordinary for me. I wouldn't normally acquire that many items over a 6-month period. But it was Christmas and my birthday. But I am also me, and I do know that I probably definitely spend more money on clothes than the average person does. So after 6 months of tracking everything that I've worn, here's what I'll say. For me, it was completely worth the effort that I put into it. I feel like I have learned so much about my own personal style, about building outfits, about building a capsule and packing more strategically, about what is a worthwhile purchase and what is not, and overall just feeling like I have more of a grasp on what it is that makes up my wardrobe. It's easier for me to understand which items are due for donation, and I don't sell items on Depop, but if I did, I already have all of the items photographed, which is kind of really awesome and easy. And also, it is so much easier to get dressed in the morning, having this virtual wardrobe full of virtual outfits for me to choose from and continue building upon every day. Getting dressed used to be something that could have taken me hours as I'm trying on different outfits and, experimenting with what works and what doesn't work and throwing everything around the room and maybe even getting frustrated and angry at myself and hating everything that I try on. This has helped crunch that time down so immensely, it's not even funny. And it's just added so much joy in my life when it comes to getting dressed in the morning. So if you are debating cataloging your wardrobe, I honestly really recommend it. I think if you are a fashion lover, if you love getting dressed in the morning, if you love clothes, if you are a big spender on clothes and would like to curb that a little bit, get a little smarter with what it is that you are purchasing and bringing into your wardrobe. Listen, we all have room for improvement, myself absolutely included. If any of that sounds like you, I think that you would get a lot out of having a digital wardrobe. It requires a little bit of commitment up front, but once you do it, once you have it all done, I'm telling you, the payoff is so worth it. So here's to 6 more months, baby. I don't know. I love indyx. I love looking at this data, and I can't wait to see what it looks like a couple years from now when I can look back and see what my wardrobe evolves to as I'm investing in higher quality pieces, more long lasting pieces that fit my body better and that are ultimately better captures of me as a person. So anyways, that's all the data that I have for you guys today. Thanks for hanging out with me and taking a look at my closet. If you're in dire need of more Maddie hours, which God, I totally understand that, you can go head over to my podcast, Emotionally Online, which happens every single week. And also you can join my Patreon, where we have a Discord server full of lover girls chatting. I post extra video content, extended podcast episodes. We do live streams once a month. We did a virtual movie watch party recently. It's all good vibes over there. So if you're interested and want to spend more time in the universe of my content, definitely go check that out. I love you guys so much. I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.